YouTube, how's it going? Frogs Angels back with some more NFL draft talk. And today's video, bold predictions. Gonna put some hot takes, maybe some statements up on the page here. Some of them will be true, false. They're all possibilities. I mean, we got some funny ones at the end. We got maybe some over-unders coming up here. So I wanted to get the rest of the Frogs Angels crew on this one, but they couldn't make it. So it's just me and all the viewers. So I want you guys to play along, comment on what your predictions are, really, what your takes are on each one of these. So we're going to go through them one by one, break them down. Let's start with the top of the draft with the Browns. Josh Allen goes 1. Is that true, false, yes, no? I'm going to say false. I mean, we discussed this in the recent past here. I think it's still Darnold. I think everything else is smokescreen, but more and more people are starting to believe that it's Josh Allen. People also thought it was smokescreen. Now they think it's true, but I mean he has all the tools, but he's a project at quarterback. Are they really this offseason? They didn't show that they're a rebuild team. They showed that they can win now. They want to win now. Maybe they don't expect to contend now, obviously, but do they want to go get a project quarterback to throw in with that? I mean, yeah, maybe he can sit behind Tyrod and learn. They still got Tyrod they can play, but I just think it's Darnold. I don't know. We got 80%, maybe 90% of this process was Sam Darnold. Or maybe there was a little percentage in there that was Barkley, but now it's all Allen. So I'm sticking with Darnold, but I'm not going to 100% rule out Josh Allen, but I'm going no is my answer on this one. False. So let me know what you guys think. But on to the next one. Browns draft QBs at 1 and 4. True or false? That's an obvious one. I'm gonna say false there, and the answer is no for me. It's been floating around. The only possible way I can see this happening is if they can't get a deal done in time, but they know there's a heavy market for that other quarterback they select at 4, but then they trade him for just a boatload of stuff. That's the only thing I can think of, but even that, I think it's a very, very low chance it happens. It's just nonsense. So I don't think it's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Really, it's not gonna happen. So pretty easy one there. Let's get some better ones here. Browns draft at 1 and 4. True or false? So that means they actually make a selection at 1 and at 4. This is tough, actually. This is very tough. I think they will pick at 1. There's some talk that they could move on from 1. But I think that they will pick at 1. But for them to pick 1 and 4, I'm gonna say true. I'm gonna say yes. They do pick at 1 and 4. They could trade 4. I've had that happen in my last mock. I think it can happen, but I think the trades are getting maybe hyped up a little too much. We're gonna see trades, but maybe a little bit too much. I think most likely, obviously, it's hard to predict who will trade. So most likely they stay put. That's a tough one, though. I want to see what most people out there think, so let me know what you think there. I think it's true. I think, yes, they do draft at 1 and 4, but that could go either way. That's a tough one. But on the team pick at number 2, the Giants. The Giants don't go QB at 2. Another tough one. I'm gonna say it's false. I think they do go QB at 2. Unless they trade, obviously. But I think if they pick 2, I think they go QB of the future. I know they can win now. There's always talk about Barkley or Chubb. But when are you going to find a quarterback of the caliber you can get at 2 and for the future? And I mean, how could you pass? And when are you going to be picking at 2 as well? Even if you do pick 2 next year, the year after, who are you going to get? So I think they do pick at 2. So I think this is false. Gets a little confusing. I think this is false, but it's a lot of signs pointing to Barkley lately. But I'm not really buying it. But I'm not going to 100% rule it out. Another Giants one. Giants trade Odell Beckham Jr. on day 1. All these are day 1 too. All these are day 1 statements. So keep that in mind. But as we go on through these other ones, but I'm going to say no. They do not trade Odell. On day 1 or at all during the draft. I can add that in there too. I don't think it happens. Maybe people thought it would happen at one point a couple weeks ago, but I think we're all in agreement. The answer is no. Gonna be no, I should say. But on to the Bills now. Bills draft at 12 and 22, so they stay put. I'm going to say false. I think they make a deal. Maybe not the crazy deal that we're hearing about, but I think they do make a deal, whether it's up a few spots, whether it's up to 2, whether it's up to 6. I think they make a deal. So I'm going to say yes here, or I'm going to say no, actually. I'm confusing myself here. I didn't make the graphics, so they're getting a little confusing to me. Bills draft at 12 and 22, false. Got to correct myself there, false. I think they draft at one of those spots, but that's not what the question is. Do they draft at both? No, I don't think they do. Next one, what do we got here? Bills trade up for a QB. I'm going to say yes. I think they do. I think they do. It sounds like they will. Again, where will it be? That's up in the air. Will it be 2? Will it be 6? Will it be up to 8? If someone drops, but I don't know. But I think it happens, and then they trade up for a QB. I think that's I think most people are going to say yes on that one. On to the next one. Picks 1, 2, and 3 will all be QBs. Wow. So we got some teams up on the board that could be are selecting 1, 2, and 3, or could be selecting 1, 2, 3. Also, looks like they're all QB needy teams. I'm going to say yes. That's a little bit of a bold statement, I guess. But I think the Browns go QB at 1. I think the Giants stay put at 2 and take a QB. If not, they're going to trade it to the Bills most likely. And I think the Bills will take a QB at 2 would be. And then 3, the Jets could take a QB. Will take a QB. Do they pull a wild card, take a Barkley? We'll see. Do they trade up to 1? But then the Browns still have 3. I really think it's going to be 1, 2, 3 QBs. I think the only way it's not is if pick 2, the Giants stay at 2, and they even if they stay at 2, we went over it in the past here. I think they take a QB, but if the only way this doesn't come true is if the Giants go non-QB, Barkley or Chubb. So I'm gonna say yes on this one. Maybe that's a hot take by me. I don't know. Let's hear what you guys think. On to the next one. Elway and the boys trade back. Interesting. Why didn't we just put Broncos? I told the graphics guy what I want here, but he's getting cute with me here. But I kind of like it. Elway and the boys trade back, meaning the Broncos trade back. There was reports yesterday that the Broncos will trade back, or they're open to trading back. Very interesting because you think they want Barkley or a quarterback, so why not stay put? It's very intriguing. My take would be that they want to get a deal, maybe a blueprint there, maybe a set deal if their guy isn't there. Maybe they don't expect Barkley to be there. Maybe they don't expect the quarterback they would pull the trigger on there. I don't think they trade back. Because I think Barkley might be there. It's tough. Maybe they're expecting him gone. They don't want to take a QB. I almost want to switch my... God, this is a tough one. I could say if Barkley is gone, I think they trade back. If he's there, they take him. But that's not the question here. The question is they trade back. Before the draft, I have to decide if they trade back. Man. It's tough. That's a tough one. I want to say, actually, that Barkley goes by 4. But how do they not look at Quentin Nelson or Bradley Chubb? I'm going to say the Broncos stay put. I don't know. And the QBs could slide very good talent back, so maybe they're looking at it that way. Good defensive talent. So it's a very tough one. I want to hear what you guys say on that one. There's reports that they're looking to trade back, but I think somebody's going to fall to them that they didn't expect, or they're too good to pass. So I think they stay put. I'm going to say no. Elway and the boys do not trade back. Thumbs up there from Elway. I think he's going to get the player he wants there. On to the next one. Barkley is the first non-QB drafted. I'm going to say yes. I believe that he is. It could be Chubb, and it could be Nelson. I don't know if I see anybody else. People talk about Denzel Ward. I don't know if I see that. But I think Barkley is the first one to go, and I think it's at 4. Depends on who's trading. Does somebody trade up for another quarterback? Somebody trade up for Barkley. Somebody trade up Chubb, Nelson. It could be Chubb or Nelson. It depends on who you view as the best player in the draft. But even if it's Nelson, does a guy like Barkley or Chubb make more of an impact than Nelson? And you got to think so. So it's tough. I think it's really between Barkley and Chubb. I think Barkley is the first non-QB drafted. So I'm gonna say yes here. Fitzpatrick and James fall past 10. So that's Minka Fitzpatrick, defensive back from Alabama, and Derwin James, defensive back from Florida State. They fall past 10. There's reports that both of them will fall past 10. So if you think one of them goes in the top 10, only one, then you agree. No, you confusing myself here. So they both have to fall past 10 here. I think, man, that's tough. I think Derwin James has a chance to go at 7 to the Bucks. But I think the QBs and the trades, even though I don't know if there's going to be as many trades as people think. There's going to be a good amount of trades, but people think there's going to be absolute madness. There very well could be. So I'm going to say yes, both of them fall past 10. So if you think one of them go in the top 10, then this is false for you. Basically what I was trying to say before. I think both get past 10. I think it's very close because I think Derwin James in that 7 spot. The Bucks honestly could trade back. If Barkley falls, they're going to take him. If Chubb falls, they're going to take him. Nelson, if they're both gone like we expect, it's between Nelson and Derwin James, I think. Could be Denzel Ward. I think they both fall out. I've been saying for a while Derwin James goes to the Bucks, but I think some of these great players get pushed back. So I say yes, both fall past 10. What if they go at 10? No, they have to go past 10, so that's 11 or higher. That's tough. That is a tough one. I'll stick with what I said. I'll say yes there. Dolphins trade up for a QB, another tough one. I'm gonna say no. I don't think they trade up for a QB. They may try to, but most likely it doesn't happen. It's another tough one because they've been doing a lot of homework on QBs. There's always a surprise team that comes up, so it very well could happen. Easily could happen, but I'll say no. It's tough. Let me know what you think there. Dolphins fan, let me know Dolphins fans, I want to know what you want to do and what you think's going to happen. But let's get to the next one here. Cowboys take Dez replacements at their first round pick. Again, all these are for day one only. Doesn't matter what they do day 2. This is a day 1 bold predictions. So this means they're going to take a receiver in the first round no matter where they pick. If they trade, will they take a receiver in the first round? That is hard. That's hard to say because what if some ridiculous defensive player drops to them? He's too good to pass on. That is very tough. That is very tough to say. I think when they released Dez, they had a receiver or two in mind, and the receivers are probably going to drop, so maybe they get the first crack at the receiver, maybe the second one. So I'm going to say yes. It's tough to say, but I'm going to say they take either Calvin Ridley or I'm going even more specific. Well, it's going to be one of the 3, Calvin Ridley, Cortland Sutton, or I was about to say Dez Bryant. DJ Moore. How do I get those two mixed up? I don't know. They're going to take one of the 3. Tough to say which one. So I guess it's a hot take that I say they're taking a receiver. It's really tough to say because what if I don't know. What if a top linebacker or pass rusher drops to them, a defense attack? What if Vita Vea somehow drops to them? I know they like him. It's tough. It's hard. One of those guys could drop back because the quarterbacks and the trades will push them back. I've said it before. I'll say it again. This actually might be one of the better draft classes from the past at least 5 years if you don't need a quarterback because, well, I should say defense. One of the best defensive drafts, days 1 and 2, early days 3 in a long time if you don't need a quarterback because the trades and the quarterbacks are going to push the guys back. It's going to be ridiculous. Normal drafts, we see really good guys drop back. We're going to see more of that. It's going to be surprising when it happens, but it really shouldn't be. So, good draft class. We'll see what happens with the Cowboys. But I'm going to say yes, they take a receiver, but it's tough. On to the next one. Patriots draft at 23 and at 31. Oh, man. So that means they have to stay put and make a pick at both those picks. Another hard one. Yeah, man, that's a tough one. I'm going to say no. I don't know if they make a huge splash, a huge trade here way up. Some people think they may do that for a crazy top quarterback. I don't think they do that, but they'll move between like the Patriots, the Vikings. Those are teams that like to move a few spots just to do it. It seems like just to gather more picks or something. Make sure they get the guy they want. So I think they do it. I don't think it'll be a crazy difference, but I don't think they pick at 23 and 31. Maybe they stay. Now I'm back to the guy. Some guys are gonna fall that they're really gonna like. So, God, these are some hard ones. Patriots draft at 23 and 31. I'm gonna say no. I think the Patriots move. It's just because it's the Patriots. It's a team that likes to move around a little bit, not a little bit, a lot. So I'm gonna say no. But let me know what you guys think there. Another Patriots one. Patriots draft Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna say no. I think it was smokescreen. I would love it if they did. They could be looking at a quarterback, but I think they're mainly looking at what they lost in free agency and offensive line, maybe some more defense. They could take a quarterback. I don't think it's Lamar Jackson. I don't think the Patriots would come out and just say, yeah, we love Lamar Jackson, so they're going to end up taking him. That's not how it works, but I hope we see it, honestly. Not a Patriots fan. Not a Patriots hater. I like Lamar Jackson. I would like to see it happen. More Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson doesn't get picked. Now, again, this is day one. So this means he doesn't get picked on day one. Graphics guy couldn't fit it day one in there, but it's a day one bold prediction, so it makes sense. Lamar Jackson doesn't get picked. I know there's people I know that don't think he's gonna go first round. I think he does. So this is no. The answer is false for me. I think he does get picked. It's hard to say where, but I think he gets picked in the first round on day one. To the next one. One of these teams drafts a quarterback. Oh, I like this one. So we got the Saints. We got this. This is in really no order here. Saints, Steelers, Jags, Cardinals, Ravens, Chargers, Bengals. Man, oh man. I like this one. This is a very hard one. It really depends on some of these slides. That's a lot of teams. I think a lot of these teams don't. I think all of them don't need a quarterback right now. It really depends on if the quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3. If there's how many quarterbacks go in the top 10 picks, 6 picks, how many trades up with the Colts. Man, one of these teams draft, not even trades up. It's one of these teams drafts a quarterback in the first round. I can't decide on this one. I wanted to say yes because there's so many teams up here. One of them. There's always a surprise team, and one of them is bound to take a quarterback. One of them may try to trade up for one, but back to the talent getting pushed down, and I think a lot of these teams, really the teams without the holes here, you could say the best team here is probably the Saints or the Steelers. You got to throw the Jags in there because of last year. The Saints and the Steelers are the obvious choice of the best two teams, but they have more holes than maybe the Jags or the Chargers do. So the Jags and the Chargers could afford to trade up and take their quarterback of the future here. Even the Ravens, not a lot of holes for them. I think the Bengals and the Cardinals need too many more things. Honestly, you look at the Saints and the Steelers defense, I think they need some, not that they needed to contend or be a good team, but I think they need some defensive help. I think we're looking at the Jags, the Chargers, and the Ravens are more likely. I know the Saints are very high on Mayfield, but they're going to have to give up way too much to do it. I'm gonna say no. I don't think any of these teams do it because I think there's too many quarterbacks gone before these guys have the ability to trade up, and the other talent getting pushed down. It's gonna be appealing to them. So I'm gonna say no. I know there's a lot of teams up here. Some of these teams very well could get a quarterback. I'm gonna say none of these teams get a quarterback on day one. I'm sure plenty of them will draft a quarterback in the entire draft. But we're talking day one. That's tough. That is tough. We got an over-under here. 2017 draft had 6 trades. 2018 will have how many? Oh, so it's 6. We're setting it at 6. Over-under, or you taking 6. It doesn't count on the trades we already had. We've seen the Bills and the Bengals trades. See the Patriots, Rams. That doesn't count. So on Thursday, 6 trades happen. Over or under? Oh, man. It's close. I don't know. People are expecting. I think most people would say over, but I don't. I think that's getting hyped up a little much. I think you expect the. We already said the Patriots, the Bills. Um, I talked about the Vikings like to trade the Bears, and the Bears traded up one spot last year. Ryan Pace and the Bears traded up a couple spots the year before. They're looking to trade back, so maybe you throw the Bears in there. You throw the Colts. It's four teams. Broncos we talked about maybe. I almost want to say right on, 6 happens. But if I had to take over and under, and we're not counting the current drafts, or trades, I should say, I'm going to say over because I actually think people are hyping it up, expecting all these trades in the top part of the first round. But teams like the Patriots, the Vikings, I think teams picking in early second round will trade up. I think plenty of teams from early second round will trade up. So because of that reason, not because the top part, even though we're going to see crazy trades in the top part, I think it goes over. I think we're going to see around 7 there. It's tough, though. What's the next one? More Bears pictures. We got Ryan Pace up here. One team trades up one spot. So the Bears trade up one spot for Trubisky last year. One team will trade up one spot. So over under at 1. I'm gonna say under. I don't know. I don't think we see a team trade up one spot. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think it happens, so I'm taking the under. We could see it happen, I suppose, but I'm gonna take the under. Give me the next one. 5 QBs get drafted on day 1. Okay, so we're saying here, well, obviously Darnold, Rosen, Allen, Mayfield. 4 are for sure gonna go. So we're saying here 1 of Rudolph or Jackson are gonna go. That's 5. So there's no way it's going to be the under. It's either going to be 5 or 6. So the question's over under, so I guess I got to go under. I'm not going to say it stays at 5, but I honestly think it could be 6. I think Mason Rudolph, I think he's deserving of a first round pick, so I'll say over. I think these 6 guys get drafted. Next one, over under. Mayock says the term big body 6 times. So if you watch NFL Network draft, Mayock says big body or big body thumper plenty of times. I'm not gonna watch NFL Network. I'm gonna watch ESPN, and I do like Mayock, but I don't like how they have David Shaw on there. Not a fan of that. Don't want any current coaches on there. So that's the reason I watch ESPN. It's classic too. You've been watching the draft for a long time. That could be a good reason you're watching ESPN. So there's 2 reasons I'm watching ESPN. It's supposed to be on other channels as well. So I'll take the over there. Mayock says big. It doesn't have big body thumper. He'll say that a few times, but big body, he'll say over 6 times for sure. But I'm not gonna watch NFL Network. Maybe I'll turn it on during commercials ESPN. But I'm an ESPN guy. Roger Goodell butchers 2 names. Over under set at 2. Oh boy. He had Reuben Foster last year. Did he mess up any more last year? Marcus Mariota he got. That's a classic. Classic. But this year, Vita Vea, maybe a tough one for him to mess up. Trying to think of other guys he can mess up there. If Sony Michel gets drafted in the first round, does he give us a Sony Michael, or does he give us a Sonny Michel, or the double dose, Sonny Michael? I don't know. You never know what Goodell's gonna pull off. Who else we got? He can do this. He can pull this off. Any quarterback? Sam Darnold? Is he gonna call him Donald? He can't mess up the first pick if he's the first pick. I mean, come on. Darius Geis? Does he say Juice? Does he say Goose? I don't know. You never know what Goodell's going to do. Butcher's 2 names. I want to say 2 is a good number there. I think somebody had to tell him about the Foster thing at the end of the first round, and he had to be a little disappointed in himself because that was at the end of the draft. He almost did good. He almost did it. So I think he maybe had he's going to get his head right this year. He practiced maybe a little bit. I'm going to say he does it. Maybe he does 1. Maybe he gets it done and does none. So I'm going to say under here. I'm expecting a lot of things out of Roger Goodell here. This is probably the biggest thing in the draft. for me right now. He's got to prove me right. I'm going to say under. Get it done, Roger. Oh, that's it. Does he get booed? That's another thing. He's for sure going to get booed. I wouldn't boo him. I'm not a huge fan, but I wouldn't boo him. Big NFL fan, big draft fan. I don't know why we got to boo him every year, but oh well. But that'll do it for the bold predictions. Let me know what you guys think. If you have some that weren't on this list, feel free to let me know your thoughts on some of those as well. So that'll do it. Please like, subscribe. Stay tuned for more draft coverage videos. We're almost there. Almost. But that'll do it. Goodbye.